what do you do when your child is melting down, not listening, and maybe even just completely overwhelmed with emotion? If you've ever felt stuck in those kind of moments where you're unsure how to respond in a way that actually even helps your child learn self control, I want you to remember and realize that you're not alone. As a mom of 8 kids, I can relate. I had some kids like that were pretty emotional, and at times it was hard to know what to do. But I want to share some simple Bible based ways with you that you can teach your child emotional self control to bring more peace into your home. So, how? Where do you even start in teaching a child emotional self control? Well, the truth is, what we need to realize is that managing emotions is a life skill. It's something that we're all called to grow in over a lifetime. So, the sooner we teach our children how to handle their emotions, the more peace there will be not only in their hearts, but also in our homes. Scripture reminds us in Ephesians 4:26 that we will feel anger, but we're called not to sin in our anger. So, how do we actually teach that? I want to share some ideas with you, some thoughts. First of all, breathe with them. When a child is really upset, their brain isn't working clearly. They've lost control and their emotions are in charge. So before you can try to correct or instruct them, you have to help them calm down. Often I have said, your brain has quit working and we need to help it work again. Of course, I say that in a kind way. For younger kids, you can use something like bubbles, pinwheels, or have them put their hands on their belly and take slow breaths. For older kids, simple, steady breathing works well. But the key here is that you do it with them, not from across the room and not by telling them, calm down. You do it with them because this not only helps your child regulate, but it helps calm you too. And you need to be the calm one in a situation like this. So in our home, we would connect this to faith. We're going to breathe in God's peace and love, and we're going to breathe out that frustration and anger. When we slow down and do that, it helps us to remember the importance of being still and knowing that He is God and He's in control. Second, teach them to replace angry thoughts with truth. This is something, again, that you practice when they're calm, not in the middle of a meltdown. Ask your child what thoughts they have when they feel angry. Sometimes you might be surprised because they believe things like, I'm bad, I can never do anything right, I'm always in trouble, or mom doesn't love me, dad's mad at me. Those kind of thoughts are negative lies that they're saying and believing in their minds, and they can spiral very quickly. So we have to teach them to think God's thoughts and to speak truth to themselves. We remind them of God's love and who they are in Him. One helpful way, especially for older kids, is using the phrase even though. And I love this because it works so well. For example, even though my mom seems upset, I know she loves me and wants God's best for me. This helps your kids just hold on to truth even when their emotions feel overwhelming and out of control. The third thing you can do and need to do is model emotional self control yourself. Our kids learn so much more from what we do than what we say. So when I feel overwhelmed, I take a mommy timeout. I'll say something to the child like, I need a moment to calm down so I can respond the right way. Sometimes I'll even say out loud, I know the enemy would love for us to be angry and divided. So let's pause and pray and ask God to give us His peace. You know what this is going to do? This is going to show your kids what it looks like to pause, pray, and respond with self-control. And your example is how they learn that. Number 4, teach spiritual disciplines. Emotional self-control is deeply connected to spiritual growth. In Galatians 5, it reminds us that self-control is a fruit of the Spirit. So that means it's not something we can force. It's something that God produces in us. So we teach our children to turn to God when they feel overwhelmed, to pray, to pause, to ask for His help. Because ultimately, in the end, it's the Spirit of God working in them, that shapes their character and how they respond. So remember this: breathe with your child to help them calm down, teach them to replace lies with truth, model what self control looks like in your own life, and then guide them toward God through spiritual disciplines. Remember, this isn't about perfection. None of us are perfect as parents. This is about training our children's hearts just one moment at a time. If this encouraged you, make sure to subscribe for more Christian parenting and homeschooling support. And if you want practical Bible based tools to help you train your child's character, self control being one of those, head over to the Character Corner. I'll link below. And keep in mind, you are not alone in this, and what you're doing matters so much more than you realize.